Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, inside the StreamYard Studios once again for another incredible, exciting interview for you guys today. We have the one, the only Miss Amanda Komoczi. She's going to be joining me here just very soon. But real quick, though, let's go ahead and send our shout-outs to pretty much Miss Erica with the Aroma Wellness with her essential oils. Make sure you guys check that out. I've tagged her in a couple of posts here and there, so make sure you guys can just follow her. We have some stuff we might be working on for you guys later on this weekend. So make sure you guys get a chance to follow us on the Fight Now on Instagram to get a chance to check out the details. Also, real quick, there was a huge week in women's fighting. So real quick, I want to send a shout out to Courtney Cameron on the fight of the night that happened this past weekend in her bare knuckle debut against Crystal Pittman. If she's watching this, congratulations, and guys, send all the love to you. And of course, our great friends over at pretty much Combat Sports Coverage. They just had their big event this past weekend, so shout out to them and thank you guys for allowing us to get a chance to sponsor that huge event. Anyways, let's not waste any time. Please help me welcome the woman that's going to be fighting on December 17th against Lily Hilton for the 117 kickboxing title. Please help me welcome Miss Amanda Komoczi.
Oh, how's it going?
Hello, how are you?
Doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm so glad to get a chance to have you here. We was going to get a chance to have this today, but due to school and other stuff, hey, second time's a charm, right?
Absolutely. Better than the third time, right?
Hey, touche on that one. Touche on that one. So, real quick though, how you been doing? I know the last time we saw you was your last fight back in August. I mean, how's things been going since then?
Yeah, everything's been really good. I just started my camp last Monday. I'm doing a 10-week camp for this one. So just kind of getting back in the swing of things, getting my diet, getting my training schedule all nailed down, but feeling good. I was coming off a concussion from that last fight, and I'm all healed up from that, and I'm ready to rock. So,
I, I can't wait. I can't wait. So let's go ahead and get things started. So pretty
yeah,
much we
let's
all
start.
have something that inspires us to start doing what we do. To me, it's interviewing, but when it comes to you, it's fighting. So what inspired you to start fighting?
I started martial arts when I was 7 years old. I started with traditional karate, more of a taekwondo style. And by the time I was 13 or 14, I realized that wasn't quite the trajectory that I wanted to take. So I transitioned to Muay Thai and Jiu Jitsu at that point, and I haven't really looked back ever since. So that's kind of been my trajectory. But it started off as like just a love for combat sports, I guess. Yeah.
And it's really incredible. At 7 years old, you pretty much knew that this was your passion, and all of a sudden, years later, you're doing fights. You got a lot of stuff ahead of you. I mean, do you ever just kind of look back on the road that you've started?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a super humbling road. Like I've taken a couple detours here and there, tried different sports, taken time off, but something always kind of compels me coming back to fighting. So I think I'm taking that as a sign from the universe, and I'm going to run with it as hard as I can.
Exactly, exactly. So pretty much, we all have those that help us prepare us, especially when it comes to fights. You train at pound for pound, and they have
Yes.
trained you and many incredible fighters. Talk about how much they mean to you and how much they've helped you in your journey.
I think since transitioning from my last gym to pound for pound, I have made leaps and bounds in my game. Not only do they treat me as a high level athlete, but they also just really treat me as family, which I really appreciate. They've given me a home where I didn't feel like I would ever be able to find another one after my last gym. So, of course, I appreciate that. We also do a lot of switch stance stuff, which is very new to me. So
Ooh.
we call it orthopaw. So being both orthodox and southpaw in a fight, which I think has kind of challenged my brain in a way that I wasn't really prepared for, which has been awesome. I've been loving that. And, it's just they have next level trainers. J-Ho is awesome, Justin. And they also have next level fighters. So you put those two together and you're bound to have magic happen.
Oh, and straight up, and pretty much from what we could tell, especially with your Instagram, that you have been training with some incredible fighters, incredible
Yes.
coaches, and they have trained the best over there, haven't they?
They have, absolutely. They have JO has Tisha Torres, Raquel Pennington. She's getting ready for her January 14th bout coming up. Miranda Maverick, all of the really good girls around my size, I feel like, have at least either stopped into pound for pound or currently trained there. So that's pretty cool.
Now, pretty much, when it comes to the UFC veterans who are still training there, do you ever just learn a lot, especially when it comes to Miranda Maverick?
Oh, absolutely. She beats me up all the time, and it's probably my favorite part of the week, you know. She's just at such a high caliber with her striking, and obviously her ground game is what she's known for, but her striking has really been something that's impressive and admirable to look up to for sure.
Really, really incredible to say the least. So I want
Definitely.
you to. I want you to get a chance to look back on something. So pretty much we all remember when it comes to either interviews or for you, your first time you ever got a chance to fight. Can you take us to look back on the first time you ever fought?
Oh, yes. So the first time I ever fought, I was 14 years old. It was at the Colorado Muay Thai tournament, I guess. I had pneumonia the week before and was super duper sick. So I was walking into it not really knowing what I was getting into. I was able to secure my first victory and my first title on my first fight, which was really cool because there was only two people in my weight class. I think I was like either 80 or 85 pounds. So it was just me and one other girl who I ended up rematching later as well. But after that, like rush of feeling the win and feeling all of your hard work pay off, that's kind of when I got hooked a little bit. And yeah, I haven't really looked back since, like I said.
I mean, it seems like that when we first start fighting, that adrenaline rush starts kicking in, and that's happened with
Definitely.
all of your fights for sure, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's like levels to managing it and whatnot. Like, you don't want to adrenaline dump right in the first round and then just be dead tired, but you also do want to use that adrenaline to your advantage and it feels good. Feel like Superwoman for a little bit, you know?
Hey, when it comes to you and all the girls that's fighting, I think y'all are superwoman in your own way, to say the least.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. We
Not a
all do.
problem.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I think whenever I see you guys fight, I always think of y'all as this one badass superwoman that just goes in there and just kills it. So I definitely do respect you, and of course, all those that go in there and fight. So pretty much, I'm thankful for y'all. Pretty much because without y'all, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, men has done incredible things, but it's always great to get a chance to see the women go in there and show a lot of people what men can do and what women can do and where as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just stepping in the ring is a victory in and of itself, to be completely honest, for a lot of women. So,
Exactly, exactly. So pretty much, we talked about you training that pound for pound, and of
uh-huh.
course, there's always been the perks of training. There's always been the best parts. There's always been some of the great parts about training, but then there's always been the worst parts about training. So from your perspective, what's been the worst part about training?
Um, I would say just like balancing my personal struggles with fighting, I guess. I feel like it's definitely a pretty weight focused sport and stuff like that. So having the background that I have kind of, with the eating disorder and things like that, that's been the worst part. It's been really hard to kind of strike a balance between, oh, I'm doing this for my sport or I'm doing this because I'm using it as a means to an end, I guess. So that's not been the best, but I think it's definitely helped me come to a healthier relationship with food and exercise both. So the best and the worst. I think it saved my life, but it's also been hard to strike that balance.
And of course, we pretty much, all the fighters, especially yourself, have had a lot of issues. Now, my apologies for the starter, but when it comes to the eating habits, eating disorder, especially when it comes to weight cuts, but most
Yep.
importantly, mentally. So, how much has the sport helped you mentally?
I think it's given me a confidence that I'm not sure I would have been able to produce on my own. I feel like growing up, I was really shy. Even when I was doing martial arts, I was very impressionable and just kind of like floating through life. And martial arts has been a savior for me. It's given me a voice, it's given me a platform to be able to work on myself. And, all the good people in this sport that helps around you definitely build you up too.
I definitely do agree. And if there's anybody that's watching this that's not involved with either combat sports or jiu-jitsu, whatever so of way, let me tell you this though. When you first start walking to a gym, you don't know what to expect. You don't know how to feel, especially for those who either get bullied, have depression, have anxiety, eating disorder, whatever it may be. But whenever you first walk into that gym, trust me when I tell you, there's a lot of people that may know you more than you'll ever realize. A lot
Yeah.
of people may not know you, but mentally and pretty much up here will understand you completely. So
Yep.
if you struggle with any of these things, don't hesitate by getting off the couch or getting off the chair. Go to the gym, and trust me, whenever you start working, start training, and get involved with these things, you'll see a lot of difference in yourself more than you ever know.
Absolutely. I think it transforms people's lives for sure.
I think it also saves people's lives because pretty
Yep.
much these people start getting down to that place, and this is something I can't stress with enough, is that they don't realize that, if you're hitting a punching bag or just hitting someone, all that anger, frustration, but just through one punch will end up letting out all the aggression that you need. So trust me when I tell you this. For anybody that's watching, go give it a try. If it's not, if it's even if it's just for exercise, go give it a try.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So pretty much, we talked about that, but yet, I have a really interesting question for you. So you talked about the
Yeah.
friendships, especially when it comes to Miranda Maverick, but yet there's other, two individuals I want to get a chance to name off, Rebecca Lerner and Courtney Cameron. Those
Yes.
two have been your pretty much your little sidekicks or pretty much your best friends to say the least. And you pretty much in the sport you meet a lot of enemies, but most of the times you meet a lot of friends. How
Mhm.
much to how much has both Rebecca and Courtney mean to you ever since you've joined Pound for Pound and ever since you started?
Yeah, I was actually training with Rebecca back at my last gym too. So we both moved to Pound for Pound about the same time. She came, I don't know, like a month or two after I did. So it's really awesome having a partner that I not only like, but is also close to my size and is always there to push the pace and work hard. It's hard to find girls my size, 115 to 105 ish area. And she definitely helps me out a lot in that area. And then Courtney, this was my last camp was my first time being able to really train consistently with Courtney. She's an incredible athlete. She's always down to help everyone out too, which is pretty admirable. It's a selfish sport and you don't really owe anybody anything, but she was there to get rounds in with me, let me beat her up, beat me up, all that good stuff. So I can't stress enough how grateful I am for both of them. Yeah.
And of course, those two have had an eventful week with
Yes, they have. Yep.
Rebecca. Pretty much, she got a chance to fight, and I got to tell you this. So to Rebecca, if you're watching this, which I hope you are, I think not only Amanda but myself is proud of you. You did an
Mm-hmm.
amazing job in your fight this past weekend, and of course,
Very.
as it was announced by Bare Knuckle today, Courtney Cameron and Crystal Pittman won fight of the night, as well deserved. So shout out to both ladies, both Courtney and Rebecca. You guys have killed it this weekend. Proud of both of you guys, and hopefully we'll just have Rebecca in here for a little interview for herself.
Yeah, that would be awesome. You should definitely get her in here.
Oh, definitely for sure. So when it comes to this sport, I mean, Joe, when it comes to combat sports, there's always been the great perks of it. I mean, you get a chance to go in there, you get a chance to fight, but there's been a lot of different times where things have been really difficult and been really tough. So what's been the hardest part about the sport from your perspective?
I would say just again, yeah, the hardest part about the sport is kind of how it interlaces with the rest of my life. It's something that I built a lot of my identity on. So when I didn't have it, I didn't really know who I was, and then once I did have it again, it was difficult to find that balance. But I feel like I've kind of hit my stride in that, and I'm really ready to progress to the next level.
And we'll definitely, and I think you definitely are come December 17th, which we'll get a
Absolutely.
chance to talk about there here soon. But yet, you started off, 7 years old. You got a chance to have your first fight, and at 14 years old, and you've been experiencing this for quite some time. What's been the best part about this journey? What's been the best part about this road that you've been on?
I think the family that I've made, absolutely. There's a different bond that you make with people when you sweat, and especially when you're competing with each other, but also against each other, if that makes sense. Like, obviously, everyone's a team, but there's like the small rivalries that really push you to the next level. And at the end of the day, it's all love. Um, I think that kind of makes friends for life. I think everybody has preferences on who they like and who they don't, but it's kind of hard to find a gym partner that you're not like super geeked on. So at least everybody has that one person that they train with that they can talk to about stuff outside the gym and all that, and they still can empathize with like the training half of it. So definitely the people that you meet, I think that's the best part.
And pretty much those people will end up becoming your family, like the family that you got for sure, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think you choose your family, you're not given them. So I've built my family around me now.
And I'm pretty sure that anybody that's watching this from her perspective has been a huge part of your family. So shout out to everyone. I know that they've helped you along the way,
Yes.
especially when it comes to pound for pound and the girls that you get a chance to train with. So shout out to them. I know that they're proud of the fighter that you've become and
Thank
how incredible you've been these last couple of months that you've been. Because let's go ahead and talk about this. So your last fight was back in, I think it was August 27th against Morgan Walgreen.
Correct.
And let me tell you this, you killed it. You had a phenomenal fight, even though your last fight you had a concussion. Talk about how much that win meant to you, especially with the next fight that's coming up your way.
Mhm. I think that was a really big win for me, not because of the opponent, but kind of it all came full circle. That was my first fight back in Colorado since my very first fight. So that was really, really cool to be able to have my friends and family there, kind of have home team advantage. I know Morgan was also from around the area, but it felt kind of like it was like my fight, it was meant for me. And I mean, I trained my butt off for it. I was coming off a loss from the TBA, so I definitely had that fire lit under me. And even though I had a concussion going into it, I didn't really let that deter me. I just executed the game plan and got it done.
You did a phenomenal job, and I gotta tell you this though, and yet I've never been in the Denver area, but yet you guys know how to have an amazing crowds from
Yeah.
that fight to the bare knuckle weekend. Oh my gosh! If you guys
Hmm.
go down to a Denver event, whether if it's football or fighting,
Anything.
go and be a part of it. Anything, yes, go be a
It,
part of it
yeah, we're lit.
because
We're lit in Denver.
oh my gosh, you guys are definitely talk about. There's another definition of lit. You guys are pretty much kind of like the Tennessee Vols last weekend, except you guys don't break down a field goal and put it in Tennessee River.
Yeah, not
So,
yet, but
in due time, in due
it's
time, in
wait for
due.
it. It's coming.
Oh man, but yeah, I have a so pretty much my next question. This is something I ask all the fighters I get a chance to interview, and this is gonna be a really tough one on you. So I hope you're
All
ready.
right, ready. I'm ready.
So pretty much you've been doing this for quite some time. You've been involved with so many fights. You've experienced a lot. But yet, there's something that we all want to be recognized for, whether if it's during interviews or for you during your time in fighting. So what's something you want to be remembered for during your time in fighting?
Ooh, um, probably my kicks. They are my bread and butter. They're my favorite thing that I use. And so if somebody could just remember, like, oh, who's that Amanda Komoczi girl? And they're like, oh, it's the girl with good kicks. Like, that would make my day. That would make my entire day. So, yeah.
I say in the future, if we start talking about, once when you start going up to the pro, it's like,
Mm.
how did she first started? Oh yeah, it was the kicks. Yep, it was the kicks.
It
It
was
was
the kicks. It had to be. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to be the other end of the ring because I do not want to feel those kicks. No, thank you on that.
Yeah.
so, so pretty much, let's go ahead and get you to talk about this though. December 17th, you got
Mhm.
a really huge fight. I
Yes.
think a really tough fight against Lily Hilton for the 117 kickboxing title. What's going through your mind when the fight was announced, and how are you feeling? As these days, as these weeks get progressed, slowly going towards December.
I think I am probably the most excited I've ever been to fight in my entire career. This is a huge fight for me. I know Lily personally. We've trained together on Team USA for Waco. I've seen her fight internationally. I know she's a great opponent, and I feel like if I am able to perform well, and of course, if I'm able to beat her, it's going to be a big step in my career. So I'm really excited to go out there and show everybody what I can do. I want to kind of prove myself a little bit.
Exactly. And by the way, if you guys want to get a chance to follow this incredible, amazing, badass fighter that she is, make sure you guys get a chance to go to Instagram and follow her at Amanda Mosey on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to butcher the last name, so,
Oh
but
no,
hey,
you're
go.
great. Yeah, you did great.
But go follow her because let me tell you this. So when I first met you, I seen how incredible you do, especially when it comes to being in the ring. And I got to tell you, on behalf of myself, you have been such an amazing part of this page. You've been an amazing part
Thank
of the fighting now. So after this interview is over, I'm gonna send you some merchandise to
you.
have you get a chance to
Awesome.
grab our merchandise
Yeah.
because
Mm.
so pretty much, if you guys want to get a chance to go get the merch that she's going to be getting, make sure you guys head over to the link in my bio in on Instagram. It is at the fight now, and go check out the link in my bio. The merchandise will be in there. Thanks to our great friends at MMA Tees. I will tell you this though, and yet before we get a chance to have your final thoughts and comments, is that there's one thing I really do admire about you is that you never give up. You never quit, especially when no matter how tough things have gotten especially since you started at 7 years old, and here you are now. You get ready to have a real huge title fight come in December. I want to say I'm so proud of you. You are doing incredible. Whenever things get tough, you just got to keep pretty much have your head above water. So I'm proud of you,
Hmm.
and just keep doing what you're doing right now, girl. I mean, it's gonna be tough, but I know you're gonna get through this.
Thank you. I
No problem.
appreciate that a lot. Yeah.
No problem. No problem. Do you have any final thoughts, final comments you want to say before we hop off the air? Golly, I hate my starter.
Oh, no worries. I think just thank you so much for having me, and definitely check out what's coming up. It's gonna be good.
Exactly. Well, hey, well, I'll definitely talk to you after the interview. I'll let you go relax,
Sounds
and
good.
I'll definitely talk to you here later on. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Have a great night as well. I'll see you. Okay. So that was Miss Amanda Komoczi. She was incredible. It was an honor to get a chance to have her here. And I'm going to tell you this right now: this girl is going to be doing incredible come December. I think to me that fight is going to be the fight of the night, fight of the year, especially in that category because these two are no strangers to one another. And I cannot wait to see these two throw down in December. So once again, make sure you guys get a chance to go follow her at Amanda Komoczi on Instagram or any other social media platforms. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, I am Jake, and pretty much that is all the time we have for tonight's interviews. If you guys want to get a chance to follow me as far as many more updates on any fights, or get a chance to shout out all the incredible women of combat sports, make sure you guys get a chance to follow me at the Fight Now. And we got more interviews to come. Due to some rescheduling, I know tomorrow night I'll be on Brawling Babes with Brittany at 9:30 Eastern Time. We have an interview Wednesday. We have some interviews on Thursday, Friday, and we might have something for you guys Friday morning. So just be on the lookout when it comes to the Instagram. But either way, go. I am Jake representing the Fight Now, saying so long, and we'll see you guys next time. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe.